But the thing is, what exactly is overthinking? I had one of my female clients recently ask me, Ray, is it okay if my partner has female friends? The fact that I'm asking this question is alarming. You plant a seed. How long is it going to take before it grows into a tree that provides fruit? So overthinking is rampant nowadays. Literally every single person is overthinking about everything. Give me 5 seconds, I'll create 1,000 different scenarios for you. And they'll be really, really well thought out scenarios as well. They'll be like critically acclaimed Steven Spielberg director's cut type scenarios we're talking about. Now the thing is, overthinking can be a superpower, and we'll get there shortly. But first, let's actually talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, it's not exactly an elephant in the room. I just said overthinking like 74 times. But the thing is, what exactly is overthinking? Well, there's a saying, if you're sad, you live in the past. If you're anxious, you live in the future. And if you're depressed, you live in the UK. Okay, that doesn't actually, no, I made that last bit up. But it ends with, if you're calm, you live in the moment. So the thing is, people are always overthinking about a million different scenarios. But how do we even get here? Well, we're being fed too much information. You always got so many different things you can think about. Things aren't as simple as they used to be, where people actually used to speak to each other face to face. Yeah, see, that's not a thing anymore. Sounds crazy, right? Now you have these weird rectangle devices that you're actually probably watching me on right now. They say we spend like 80% of our time on screens, obviously excluding sleep time. I mean, if we could go on a screen while we were asleep, we would do that nowadays as well. When you wake up and you pick up your phone, you watch some TV before work, you're at work, you're on your laptop all day, you come home, you watch TV or go on your phone. Like, just one thing after the other after the other. When was the last time you actually genuinely got yourself to settle for a second? You just found a quiet room, you sat in it alone, you closed your eyes, and you actually just breathed. The fact that I'm asking this question is alarming. It should be something that we do all the time. So I pray 5 times a day, minimum. Maybe sometimes 6, maybe sometimes 7. The point is, you don't actually realize how much your mind is racing until you're in that moment where you ground yourself and you're like, oh, okay, my head was running at 1,000,000 miles per hour. And because you're so used to it, whatever you practice, you're going to become very, very good at. Think about anyone who's ever done anything in their life. Any athlete, any business person, any scientist, anyone. They've spent hours and hours and hours practicing. You practice all day, every day. But what is it you're practicing? Distraction. So what does it actually mean? It means when you're faced with something, when you're faced with a real issue, you don't know how to handle it. Why would you? Why would you know how to handle it when you spend all your life with your head somewhere else, somewhere entirely? And I know it might seem like you're doing something productive, so this shouldn't come into the equation. Like, oh, I study all the time, so I'm doing something worthwhile. Yeah, you're right. But again, you're distracted. We are physical and spiritual beings in a digital age. Look around you. Everything that's natural takes time. You plant a seed. How long is it going to take before it grows into a tree that provides fruit? Seriously, how many decades? Childbirth, 9 months? You have a broken arm. How long will it take to heal? Everything in nature takes its time. There is no rushing. We just rush everything with fast food and fast cars and drink and drugs and all of these other stuff that fill us with endorphins and feel-good chemicals. Anytime you're bored, what do? You pick up your phone. You can't handle a second in your own brain. So what happens when an issue actually occurs? When something really small triggers you. Something that shouldn't trigger you. And we know that it shouldn't trigger you. But there's a difference between the logical brain and the emotional brain. So you can tell yourself as much as you want, this shouldn't affect me. Why is it affecting me? Your emotional brain is, hear me out, 1,000,000 times stronger than your logical brain. Sounds crazy. Check it out. So when your emotional brain gets triggered, it's going to overtake any logic you've got. Now again, going back to what I was saying about practicing, because you've practiced all the time, distraction, a lack of focus, running away from your head as much as you can, not even intentionally. It's just the easy thing to do. Why would you not pick up your phone and scroll through reels? Why would you not listen to music? Why would you not enjoy yourself, right? So it's not intentional. It's just a byproduct of the day and age we live in. So then when problems come flying towards us, instead of turning around and being like, wait a second, this is nothing, I can handle this. I know myself. I know my brain. I know who I am. I'm okay with this. No, you don't feel that way because you're being... No, you don't feel that way because you spend all of your life not being yourself. And I know that sounds crazy because you are the only person you know, but you don't know yourself, funny enough. Because if you did, this overthinking wouldn't be a thing. You wouldn't eat yourself alive because of some external factor. You'd be so grounded within yourself that you wouldn't be driving yourself insane over such a small stimulus. But again, overthinking can be a superpower because overthinking is a very condescending term. It's stress, it's agony, it's pain, it's all that blunder of suffering. But once you actually calm yourself, you compose your emotions and your feelings, overthinking is like the best thing you can have. You just think a lot. I used to be the biggest overthinker, creating issues that didn't exist. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I could create a documentary right now. Give me 5 minutes. But no, once you have a hold on it, you just think a lot. You just compute quicker. You just process information very efficiently. And it becomes the biggest blessing because you can do whatever you want. What, you want to get into fitness? You want to start a business? You want to change your career? You want a good partner? What is it you want? Because you have all the answers because you know how to figure out the end of the equation. Your brain works so quickly. You can build a structure and you can follow that structure accordingly. Again, I'll give you an example of a business. You say I want a business selling doing XYZ. So you play it all out in your head. You overthink in your head. If I do this goes wrong, this goes wrong, this goes wrong. Fine. You iron out the creases. You start the business. Then at stage 2, you realize, oh, okay, this can go wrong, you iron out the creases. Then you're at stage 3. See what I'm saying? Every single step of the way, you realize what can go wrong. Like your brain is telling you, hey, there could be a danger here. Now, obviously, it's not the same danger that we used to have thousands of years ago where you have like a tiger trying to eat. No, it's like maybe your ad revenue isn't spent in the correct way, or your product isn't as good as it could be, whatever the case is. But you know, or you'll have a very, very good idea of what to do because your brain's already figured it out for you. You want a good partner. You say, okay, well, I know these traits can lead to this, this, and this. Perfect. So you don't allow that then. You put healthy boundaries in place to say, I'm not going to allow this. You know what, to be honest, I'm not going to allow my partner to watch porn behind my back. You know, I'm not going to allow my partner to get disrespectful to me in arguments. You know, because it could lead to this, it could lead to this. I'm not going to allow him to take his female friend out to dinner because it could lead to something more than that. That's fine. You're well within your rights to want what you want. I had one of my female clients recently ask me, Ray, is it okay if my partner has female friends, best friends, whatever? I said, that's up to you. Do you want him to? She said, no. I said, well then, no, it's not okay. The thing is, what's okay for someone might not be okay for you. And just because you have specific boundaries or standards or qualities in a partner, that doesn't mean you're picky or you're too much or the bar, you're saying you're too high. No. You're well within your rights to do that. This partner is going to be with you for the rest of your life, ideally. This is not a little game that you're just trying to have some fun and then fine, don't have any boundaries. But this is real. So again, back to overthinking. If you are one of pretty much everyone who's constantly overthinking, head's running at 1 billion miles per hour, you can barely rest. First thing is first, to start getting comfortable with your head a little bit. Just become friends with yourself. Get used to yourself. Understand yourself. Don't hide away or shy away. Just because you got 5 seconds, you don't need to pick up your phone. You can just sit there in silence and say, okay, who am I? How do I actually feel? What do I actually want to think? What do I want to say? And that's fine. And then once you get used to that, use overthinking as your superpower and build whatever you want. Once you get out of survival mode and you're in creative mode, the whole world is yours. And if you have any questions, hit me up on Insta at RayToldMe. I'm most active there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.